Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 18th of October 2019 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Friday Night Smackdown. And to be 100% completely honest, I liked tonight's episode of Smackdown. There was a couple things I thought could have been better, but overall, I thought tonight's show was an improvement. It was a pretty dang good show overall, but before we talk about SmackDown, as always, see who's here with us in the live chat. Right now we got Jeff Guevara, George John Cox, got Jason Dalton, Davon Roberts Jr., Nelson, Kristen McNutt, and we've got more, just letting you guys roll in here before we do start talking some Smackdown. Jason, I think that's a fair assessment for tonight. So Jason Dalton says 8 out of 10. I may even go 8.5. Because the only thing I really didn't like or thought could have been a lot better was the Miz TV segment. Other than that, I didn't think anything else was bad. I did see some people on Twitter not liking the women's match, but I didn't think it was that bad. So 8.5, really good, number you can give to the show. Rating, assessment, evaluation, whatever you want to call it. But as far as SmackDown goes, SmackDown did kick off with a WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Roman Reigns challenging for the Intercontinental title against Shinsuke Nakamura with Sami Zayn at ringside. Give me 1 second, guys. May have some big news here. Give me like 2 seconds. George John Cox, that happens all the time. I don't know why. I wish it was a lot better. That's why we try to go live at the same time every time. SmackDown's always 10-15 minutes after it goes off the air. Raw's 10-15 minutes after it goes off the air. Wednesday, we go 10 minutes or an hour after. It's just we try to go around at the same time so you guys can get into the routine of knowing when we're live every day, because YouTube's like you said didn't send out a notification. Some people got it, some people didn't. Let's see if I got the notification. I did get the notification, so that's good. Interesting. Okay, so tonight's SmackDown kicked off with the Intercontinental title match. I thought, going into the match, this is what I thought, because the way the match ended, I was way off. But I thought, if you're giving us this match on SmackDown, why not set up the match tonight and then do the match next week with a full week's build? You can actually have something big to promote for a week. Say, hey, Roman Reigns going to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship next week, and we're on FS1. So we got this big match on FS1. Now, the match ended the way it ended, so they really didn't need to hype up the match because they were getting a crap finish anyways. But I thought overall the match itself before the finish was actually pretty good. Jason, no, unable to take calls on Friday nights right now. So Sami Zayn joined Michael Cole and Corey Graves on commentary, and Nakamura rocked Reigns with a hard knees to gain an early advantage. Reigns fought back and hit a Samoan drop for a near fall. Zayn jumped up from commentary and saved Nakamura from a Reigns drive-by. After commercial break, Nakamura was firmly in control with the side headlock. Reigns fired back and rocked Nakamura with a clothesline. He set up for the Superman punch, but Nakamura countered with an armbar. Reigns powered out and hit a sit-out powerbomb, got a 2. Sami Zayn left commentary again and jumped on the apron. This distraction allowed Nakamura to hit a sliding German suplex. He then went for the Kinshasa, but Reigns hit a Superman punch, only got a 2 count. Reigns went for the spear, but King Corbin attacked Reigns from behind with his scepter to cause the disqualification. On commentary, Corey Graves noted that Corbin is going to make Reigns pay for what his cousin The Rock did to him a couple weeks ago, embarrassing him on the Fox debut of SmackDown. So the heels gain the advantage. and they were beating on Roman Reigns before Daniel Bryan would run out to make the save. Bryan went for the suicide dive, but Zayn grabbed his leg. Nakamura hit the Kinshasa on Bryan, and the heels walked off celebrating. Michael Cole and Corey Graves talked about the draft and how the SmackDown roster is really, really good, and they're thrilled because they think SmackDown got the better roster. Now, as far as going back to that last match, I know I kind of skipped over a little bit. I thought the match itself between Roman and Nakamura, good, if not great. The finish, it's what it was. It's really what it was. The disqualification finish. Okay, whatever. Now, here's my thing. Bryan comes down to make the save. What would have worked even better is if Daniel Bryan would be willing to go to Saudi Arabia, because Corbin and Nakamura are already on Team Flair. So you could have done the whole, well, two guys on Team Flair are now facing two guys that are not on any team in a tag team match tonight. Roman and Bryan win, and then they could have both gotten named as members of Team Hogan, and then they could have played off, oh, we've already beat you, so it's going to be easy in Saudi Arabia, da-da-da-da-da. But Bryan doesn't go to those shows. WWE lets him skip, like Kevin Owens as well. But we did get Roman Reigns added to that team, as we'll talk later. So in the back, we got just a weird segment. New Day singing some wacky-ass song. Tucker interrupts and throws down a folding table. He says that Crown Jewel, they're all going to be facing each other in what is called the greatest tag team turmoil match to crown the greatest tag team in the world. He said, but tonight they're a team. And he wants to make Kofi Kingston feel better for losing his championship. And I'm like, ooh, you're finally mentioning it. Kingston said that he's feeling good and has the power of positivity. Otis then came up with a big bowl and a whisk. I guess he was making pancakes. And then they threw a bunch of protein powder in it, and he drank the raw mix. This was just weird, and my thing was, what did I just watch? So Kayla Braxton backstage attempted, you can say, to interview Corbin. She asked him why he went out and did what he did and what him attacking Roman Reigns means, and he just put on his crown and walked off. So then we got Shorty Gable. They're all in on the name. Shorty Gable. Announcers call him Shorty. He's got a promo saying it's not bad to be short. His graphics all say Shorty Gable. He's cool with it. I mean, he's got to be. Before the match, they recapped all the heels mocking Gable and his height. Axel slowed the pace down early with an armbar. Gable rolled up Axel for a near fall. Gable rocked Dallas with a kick to the face off the apron. Axel attempted the perfect plex, but Gable reversed into an ankle lock for the victory. Great little match here. I thought it was all right. After the match, Kayla Braxton came down to interview Gable. He said he thought his height held him back, but that's no longer the case. Gable talked about embracing who he is, and everyone has their insecurities. He said he has to overcome them, and he accepts who he is. Gable decided to shorten his name to Shorty G. Fans kind of cheered by the end of this promo. So that's where the Shorty G comes from. We saw months ago, maybe 2-3 months ago, WWE trademarked the name Shorty G. And now, he's Shorty G. Just looking at the live chat. Jason Dalton says, hey, Tim, what do you think of Kofi Kingston turning heel? Horrible move. Completely horrible move. Hate it. Hate the idea. Chris McNutt says, I don't like Bruce Pritchard, honestly. Why? Why don't you like Bruce Pritchard is the question. Before we go forward, we got a text message here that I want to read. It says, will Daniel Bryan be challenging Nakamura at Crown Jewel for the IC title? As I stated earlier, Daniel Bryan does not go to Saudi Arabia. He told the company after the first Saudi Arabia show, I ain't going back there. And they said, okay, sure. Like, he hated it. He did not like being there. He did not like it one iota. And so they said, okay. And they put out a thing. If anybody really feels like strongly about not wanting to go, we're not going to make you. They want everybody to go, but they're not going to make everybody go. Like Cena did the one show there. Okay, I think that match against Triple H. Said, I don't want to go again. Kevin Owens, I don't know if he even went once. He told them the last time, I don't want to go. He didn't go. Sami Zayn, not allowed to go because of his what's the word I'm looking for? Religion. And Aleister Black don't go because they think his devil tattoos are going to offend somebody there. So that's what we got so far. So Michael Cole and Corey Graves interviewed Hulk Hogan via Skype. They didn't know that Team Hogan no longer had a captain because Seth Rollins had to pull out of the match to defend his Universal Championship at Crown Jewel against The Fiend. Hogan said he's looking for a new team captain. The entire roster has been volunteering to join his team. He said that he has got 2 more members for his team. 2 guys that have stood out to him and earned the opportunity to be on his team, and that's Chad Gable and Ali. He then said, don't go anywhere tonight. Don't leave the show because by the end of tonight, we will know in a big announcement who his new team captain is. And WWE really likes to say big announcement for nothing. Like, spoiler alert, jumping ahead here. Not really spoiler alert, but jumping ahead here. It's Roman Reigns. Whoop-de-doo. Anybody shocked by that one? I'm not. So going forward, we had an 8-man tag team match. It was Heavy Machinery and the New Day with Kofi at ringside, taking on the Revival, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. Tucker caught Ziggler with the drop kick to take over early. Heavy Machinery both hit a suplex on Ziggler and Roode. The faces sent Revival to the floor, and Roode hit a dive. After a break, the heels were in control. Woods nailed Dash Wilder with a back suplex. Scott Dawson prevented Woods from making the tag, though. Woods fired back, but the heels took over. They isolated Woods in their corner and cut him off. Ziggler attempted a superplex, but Woods pushed him off the top. He followed it up with the missile drop kick. Otis would then get himself the hot tag. He ran wild, attempted a splash, but Ziggler caught him with a boot. Dawson then made a blind tag. Otis then hit the caterpillar on Roode. Dawson attempted a crossbody, but Otis caught him. Then they attempted the compactor, but Ziggler pulled Tucker to the floor. Dawson got a near fall and attempted a suplex. Otis held up Dawson for a suplex and handed him to a Big E. New Day then hit the midnight hour for the victory, pinning one half of the tag team champions. So I hope this leads us to New Day versus the Revival. The New Day can say, hey, we pinned one of the tag team champions. Give us a shot. They then announced that later on tonight, Roman Reigns will be teaming with Daniel Bryan to take on the team of Shinsuke Nakamura and King Corbin. In the back, Caleb Braxton interviewed Bryan. He said he doesn't care about Twitter beef or who's drafted in what round. He said they're grown men, and he promised to put the 2 kings in their place. They got a really cool, really quick, really great video package for Ali. It just said, hey, this is who Ali is. Something about the light. And he's great. I think they need more of these. I think it was perfectly timed out, like 90 seconds, I think it was. Awesome. We need more of these things to hype people up. Just a quick 90-second highlight reel. You can say something that goes along with their catchphrase and their character, and then bada boom, you're good. So then we got Miz TV. The only thing that I thought could have been better. Well, not the only thing, because the women's match could have been better, but it wasn't as bad as this. So Bayley came out to new music. Very generic. It's like Guitar Theme 3 on a WWE video game. Sasha Banks accompanied her to the ring, and Miz got another chair set up for Sasha. He said, Bayley, thank you for joining me here. Sasha, I didn't know you were going to come. I didn't know you were going to join us. So he said, last week, you won the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, and Bayley cut him off saying, beating Charlotte Flair. Miz pointed out that Twitter exploded after Bayley's shocking behavior last night, and they recapped what Bayley did, turning heel and winning the belt. And again, I said this before, busting the buddies, popping the Bayley buddies was ingenious. It was just an amazing, perfect, great idea. Because no one saw that coming. Yeah, you can have Bayley turn heel, but popping the Bayley buddies just took it to another level. Miz asked Bayley why she did that. She said, I don't know you or anybody else an explanation. He said, you know an explanation, not to me, but all the kids out there that supported you and wanted to hug you. And she didn't speak. He said, oh, she's going to be a champion that doesn't speak, like Brock Lesnar. He looks at Sasha and says, well, who's she? You're Paul Heyman? Miz asked if it's because the fans didn't cheer her on enough. He thinks it's because she's in the shadow of Sasha Banks. Bayley says she destroyed the Bayley buddies because she's sick of the fans. All the fans just take. They never give. They want her to be their role model. But what does she get in return? She says she was heartbroken when she lost the SmackDown Women's Championship at Hell in a Cell, and nobody was there for her. Nobody was there to console her, give her a hug. Bayley feels that she's outgrown the fans. She asked the fans if they want some inspiration. She said, life sucks, and then you die. But I think I did that with more conviction than Bayley did. Because Bayley didn't do that with any kind of conviction. It was kind of one-sided and monotoned the way Bayley did it. And I thought it could have been better. Like, as a heel, I get what she was doing. She tried to be the heel that just like, I'm a badass. I'm a heel. I don't want you to like me. Blah, blah, blah. You know, kind of thing like that. And so she didn't come off with any sort of, like, I don't know how to explain it. It was very bland the way she recited the lines. And that's where I thought it could have been better. So Nikki Cross then made her way out to the ring. She said, the time of talking is over, and it's time for some action. She told Bayley to make herself comfortable, and she will promise to give Bayley the hug that she wants after she becomes the new number one contender. Dana Brooke would then come out and make her way down to the ring. She said, it's time for new beginnings. I am now on SmackDown. And what did she call it? Hold on. Oh, she said, I'm now on SmackDown, and it's time for you all to, what did she say? She said something like, it's time for you all to experience the flex appeal. And she said, come on, guys, flex with me. She's looking down the crowd. She goes, I see you. You're flexing. And then she gets cut off. And all the other women in the six-pack challenge come down during the commercial break. Banks and Bayley sat at ringside for this as Lacey Evans rolled out of the ring early and let the other women fight. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville worked together early to take control. They teased going at it, but instead went after Carmella on the floor. Brooke took Fire and Desire out, but Evans rocked Dana Brooke with an elbow. Carmella took out everyone with a crossbody off the barricade. After commercial break, Rose and Deville worked over Carmella. Cross took over with a crossbody off the top to the floor. Dana Brooke then gained some control here after she hit a powerbomb on Lacey Evans. She followed up with a Swanton Bomb for a near fall. Great to see Dana Brooke trying new things. That Swanton Bomb, I don't know if she's been doing it in her main event matches because I don't watch main event, but I liked seeing her try new things. Top rope moves, which we normally don't see from her. Swanton Bomb. It's good to see Dana Brooke growing her repertoire. Carmella had a Rose. Looked like she could have pinned her here, but got broken up. Rose and Carmella started trading slaps. On commentary, Corey Graves told Graves not to get conflicted here. They're really playing off the, you love Mandy Rose because she's your crush, but we know you also love Carmella because she's your girlfriend. They used to do the same thing back in the day with Mandy Rose and Alexa Bliss. They'd say, Corey Graves, who you going to pick? Who you going to cheer for? So Lacey Evans hits a woman's rights, but Carmella hits her with a super kick. Rose caught Carmella with a knee, but Cross hit her neck breaker for the victory. Nikki Cross then stares down Bayley. Bayley gets out of her chair, holds up the championship, and no mention on when this match is going to take place, but Nikki Cross is the new number one contender. They then recapped the Bray Wyatt-Seth Rollins feud, including Seth Rollins burning down the Firefly Funhouse. So earlier in the day when they were saying that SmackDown got a good roster in the draft, we heard Corey Graves quickly mention, hey, Drew Gulak, he'll be in action later. So after they recapped the Wyatt Rollins stuff, they said coming up next, Braun Strowman will be in action. So Strowman comes out. Well, first Gulak is out there. And we learn that Gulak is going to take on Strowman. So Gulak gets on the mic and he's like, hey, this is my SmackDown debut. Please be easy. How about we watch a PowerPoint presentation about what you should do in Saudi Arabia against old Tyson Fury? He said he's a historian. Tyson Fury may just beat Braun Strowman if he does the same thing that he always does. Just goes out there, screams, and then goes crazy. So he starts to walk through this PowerPoint presentation, and Strowman doesn't want it, and he snaps and completely dominates Gulak. He ran around ringside, rocked Gulak with a shoulder block, hit the splash in the corner, power slam, boom, Gulak defeated. Gulak goes from a week and a half ago being the Cruiserweight champion to being a job guy to Braun Strowman here on SmackDown. So then we get our main event, and it's Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan against Nakamura and Corbin. So before the break, Daniel Bryan comes down to the ring. I want to note, for all we're supposed to know, he's a babyface. But he's not doing the yes chance at all. So he comes down to the ring and they go to commercial. They come back from commercial, no Roman Reigns yet, but Corbin and Nakamura are in the ring. Then the announcers go out there and state, and making his way into the ring, Daniel Bryan's tag team partner and the new team captain of Team Hogan at WWE Crown Jewel, Roman Reigns. So Roman rounds out Team Hogan for Crown Jewel. It will be Roman Reigns as the captain, Rusev, Ricochet, Shorty G, and Ali. Michael Bird. Why isn't SmackDown and Raw and the rest of wrestling name on a Fire Stick? I don't understand your question, Michael Bird. Maybe rephrase it? So Daniel Bryan early in this tag team match was firmly in control until Sami Zayn interfered. After a break, the heels were in control. Corbin knocked Reigns off the apron. They isolated Bryan and cut him off from this corner. Bryan finally fired back and hit a running knee. Tried to make the tag, but Corbin pulled Reigns off the apron. Corbin teased, hitting Reigns with the steps, but Bryan hit a suicide dive instead. Bryan then applied the LeBell Lock on Nakamura, but Corbin made the save. Reigns then hit a Superman punch on the floor. He followed up by spearing Corbin through the Timekeeper's area barricade. Bryan would then rock Nakamura with the yes kicks and set up a running knee. Nakamura avoided the first knee attempt, but Bryan hit him with a running knee a second time. This would then allow Daniel Bryan to get the victory, pinning Shinsuke Nakamura. Well, I don't know if this means with Bryan pinning the champ, maybe he can be next in line for the SmackDown or the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe. After the match, Bryan was hyping up the crowd, but again, not with the yes chance. Jackson Dalton, if you're saying Bryan challenging at Crown Jewel, no. Bryan won't go to Saudi Arabia, as I've mentioned 3 times already here tonight. So, Bryan and Reigns celebrate in the ring. They shake hands. Crowd's going okay. I thought this crowd could have been a little better tonight. But the crowd going okay. And they let us know one last time that SmackDown will be on FS1 next week. And both Brock Lesnar and Cain Velasquez will meet face-to-face next week in the middle of the ring. Again, the reason we are going to see SmackDown on FS1 next week is because baseball takes precedence. Baseball does better ratings than SmackDown, so if there's a big baseball game that needs to be on Fox, like the World Series, then that game will go to Fox. SmackDown will go to FS1, and it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal at all because it's going to happen once a year. SmackDown's going to get moved. Hell, next year it may not get moved if there's not a Friday game. So that's what's going to happen. Just remember, next week, FS1. But with that, that was SmackDown. I thought it was a really good show. If I had to give it a rating, like I said earlier, 8.5. I really, really enjoyed this SmackDown. Again, the only thing I could have been better was Bayley's delivery of her lines. Other than that, everything else I thought was good. So with that, I want to say thank you. Well, actually, hold on. Got some text messages coming in now. If you do want to text into the show, you can do show at 510-906-1341. This person says, who do you have winning the WWE title, Cain Velasquez or Brock Lesnar? That's a tough one. Probably Brock. Because what I would do is have Brock win. Then you could say Cain has beat Brock once, UFC. Brock has beat Cain once, WWE. Then eventually you need to do the rubber match. This person here says, who do you think will challenge Shinsuke Nakamura for the title next? Well, it's got to be either Roman Reigns or Daniel Bryan. Roman got screwed out of his match tonight, so he has a claim saying, hey, I got hit from behind by Corbin with his scepter. That was unfair. Give me another shot. But Bryan can also say, I earned a shot by pinning the champion in tag team competition. So it's probably the next challenger will be Bryan or Roman Reigns. With that, I want to say a thank you to everyone who did join me here live tonight to talk about tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. I want to thank everybody who joins us later right here on YouTube, watch this video on demand, or who listened on podcast services all around the world. Thank you guys, and we'll see you Monday after Raw. Good night, guys.